Hi, it's Nick Aston with TriplePundit.com. We're here at the 2013 edition of the South by Southwest Eco Conference. I'm here with Jack McKee. He is the VP of Marketing for a company called Ceiva, who specializes in smart meters. Hopefully I'm not mangling that. So Jack, give me the lowdown of what Ceiva is all about before we get started.
Actually, we are a company that partners with utilities and with customers to help utilities activate their customer base and help utilities connect with their customers. Utilities have a really interesting problem. They have to activate this smart grid investment, and we're really here to help them do that with their consumers.
Okay. Now, so what does that mean? What does the partnership look like?
So essentially, we work with utilities to activate the smart meter so that a customer can actually see their energy data, basically the energy that their home is using in real time from a display that we put inside their home. And the display is really interesting because we actually show their energy data along with the consumer's pictures. So our display connects to the cloud, and we can actually show their real-time use every 90 seconds alongside pictures of their friends and family.
Now that's actually pretty cool. So that means that if they're having a dinner party or something, they can have something else up there that's not so distracting, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's more than 1 billion pictures taken almost every day. So if you think about people's Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts, people love pictures, and we're here to put them back into their lives. And right alongside it, we deliver their energy information.
Now that's pretty cool. I love this idea of having more access to my data. I have a smart meter. Right. I barely know I have a smart meter because I live in a big building. Someone came along someday and installed it. I think somewhere buried on PG&E's website, my utility, I can get a little bit of information, but I certainly don't have it at my fingertips. Why is that missing, and how does someone like you come along and provide me with that data?
Right. It is an interesting conundrum. Your smart meter is unique. It spits out information and data every 8 seconds. And in order to pick it up, you need a company like us who can come in and actually grab it in a secure way and deliver it to you in real time. But obviously, utilities don't want this data getting out to the world, right? So they want it to be secure because there's security risks in terms of not only access to your information, but access to the smart grid itself. So being able to securely connect through a technology called, it's an SEP spec on a Zigbee technology, allows us to deliver it to you very securely and in very quickly, actually faster than the utility can do it themselves.
And that's pretty cool. So how do I go about actually doing this? Do I have to pay you something and you come by my house and set me up?
Well, this is where our partnership with the utilities come in. We actually partner with utilities to deliver this technology. And since we're there to help utilities activate their investment, and they've invested in over, depending on the numbers, there's almost 70 million smart meters worldwide. So there's a lot of investment in this technology. We're here to help them activate it. So we actually partner with utilities, and by partnering with them, we're actually able to deliver this technology to their customers. So depending on the program, we may have the consumer go and buy the display themselves, or we may actually have the consumer receive the display directly from the utility.
Now that's a good point, because it's great to have a smart meter. I suppose it's great for the utility to get that information. They can presumably use that to do things more efficiently. Right. But unless I can see that data, unless I can react to it and realize, whatever it is I'm running is costing me more money than it should, and react to that, right, it's not going to do me much good. So how far along are we? You mentioned 70 million smart meters out there. So one problem is just getting more smart meters out there. Right. But this is an interesting second problem. This is, how far along are we in terms of rolling out access to this useful right information that you're providing?
Right. And again, that's a great question. There's been a lot of different ways that utilities have gone about delivering this information. Some are doing it over the web, some are doing it by smartphone. And we feel like we're very unique in the way that we've been doing it, because as you can imagine, every time you pick up your smartphone or you go to the web, you have to choose to go and find that information. And not everybody's going to make that choice. But we find that when we deliver it alongside of something that's very natural, at a glance you look at your picture frame and you see pictures of your kids, delivering information in that context is respectful to the consumer, because they're looking at it anyway. So when you see your home and you see, when I flip on my air conditioning, my cost goes from 17 cents an hour to over $1.50 an hour. That's a significant impact. And then I'm empowered as a consumer to make a choice to change my habits, whether it's changing the way I use lights, changing the way that I use my air conditioning and HVAC. I'm now empowered with that information. So in that context, it makes it much more empowering to consumers as well as the utilities, because now utilities have a way to communicate with their customers as well as help customers make the changes that they want to make themselves.
Yeah, intuitively, I think that makes a lot of sense. Right. I mean, I've read a lot about, mostly in office buildings, but no reason it can't work in a residential setting, that simply showing that data, when you walk into the building at work, with having a readout that just sits there and says, this is what we've used, today or whatever. This is the rate that we're consuming, whatever resource it is, electricity presumably. You don't even have to tell people that you need to conserve. Just by seeing it, people instinctively want to react and start reducing that consumption. Have you seen this kind of thing with some of the places you've managed to roll this out?
Absolutely. In fact, we did some great research with one of our rollout pilots at Glendale Water and Power, and we found that not only were people unaware before they actually saw this information, after they saw it, it was over 400% change in their awareness of how much electricity their home was using. They were able to identify leaks in their water system by seeing that they had water consumption in the middle of the night when they weren't even there or they weren't even awake. So the research that we did just proved not only did it change how aware they were, it changed what they were likely to do because of it. Their behavior was going to change now that they had the information that armed them to make those changes. And what was really interesting is their perceptions as well of the information were different. Now they had access to it. They could do things differently than they did before. And that was probably the most significant thing that we saw, is just a base level awareness change that was beyond our expectations.
Well, I may have to have a word with my landlord about this, because this sounds like a really good offering. And Jack, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.